What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another monthly newsletter, and I hope everyone's having a great time and enjoying this year. A lot different than these previous years, but today I wanted to talk about a little bit of what's going on in the real estate market, what can we expect, and what's different than these past years. Alongside me, I have one of my preferred partners, none other than the man himself, Better Call Blake, in the house. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. Thanks for having me today.
Of course, man. Of course. It's always exciting jumping on here, speaking about what we love to do, and giving people that information that empowers them to make the best decisions.
Heck yeah, man.
So without taking more time, let's just jump right into it, give the people what they want and what they're here for. So the first question, man, and it's something that I've been getting asked a lot, is, how should sellers be positioning themselves in the next 6 to 8 months if they're looking to sell?
Well, right now, Brian, it's definitely, we're in a transition period to where it was more of a seller's market to now it's slowly becoming a buyer's market. So for sellers, my best advice and what I've been doing right now is essentially you need to get in touch with the realtor, somebody you trust and that you can take advice from, just to get the stats of your particular neighborhood, to see how your house is performing. Right now, we are definitely at the peak still, and we are going down towards, a little dip. We're seeing it. Let's just be honest. However, this is really great for sellers because the idea is always sell high and then buy low.
Right.
So right now is a great opportunity for sellers because they're still at the high point and they already know and they can project that the prices are dropping. So they'll be in that perfect, nice little spot versus back in the day, a few years back, 1 to 2 years, it was on this constant uptick. So it's really hard to time where the peak was.
Right.
But now, since we're seeing it come down, we know we're at the top.
Right.
So there's actually more certainty for sellers now than ever before.
And that's actually one of the things that I've been looking at closely as well, is that if right now you're not as close to your realtor and your lender, really getting insight of what's happening in your community, not from the internet, not from what your tia or your uncle or your coworkers say, like make sure you're getting specific information to your situation.
Exactly.
And then now over to the buyers, we can't forget about the buyers. We just coming off a seller's market. What opportunities are we starting to see in the market for buyers now?
Well, right now for buyers, it's definitely, it's a little bit more competitive in terms of interest rates and just getting pre-approved. The demand is still very much there. However, since sellers are now realizing that we're starting to come down, there are an increase of inventory and there's an increase of homes right now.
Right.
So for buyers, that means there's more inventory, so there's more opportunities out there for them. And for buyers, it's still a good time for them to even negotiate and use some leverage, depending on the seller, of course.
Right.
But it's honestly a really great time. This is the time. If you've been thinking about making a purchase, right now is the time. One thing that we always like to say is that, you can always refinance the interest rate, but you can't refinance the purchase price. And there's that saying, what is it? Marry the home, date the rate.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that'd be my best advice to buyers, is not to look at real estate so short term with interest rates being high, because let's call it how it is. It's still not at that 2% that it was during COVID.
Not anymore, man, unfortunately.
However, we did predict that it wasn't going to stay that low forever.
We had been saying this for months, to up leaning into it.
Yeah, and if you look at the course of history, we're still relatively low in terms of interest rates. So I would say my best advice: go in, buy the home right now. Later on down the line, you're going to get some equity. You can use some of that equity if you really want. Drop your interest rate, and your mortgage payment will actually go down.
And just, and with technology and everything happening now, like there's so many ways to house hack, leverage your home, rent out the rooms, put it up on Airbnb, Verbo, there's plenty of opportunities to supplement your income and minimize that monthly mortgage payment.
Yes.
Now, one of the things I want to ask, for you being a home expert, people that are looking to make remodels, or upgrades to their house, what upgrades are really the ones that are going to help them gain equity and actually add value to their property?
So we're talking about a seller?
For a seller, of course.
Okay, so
homeowners currently.
So first things first, anytime you're going to do any kind of upgrades before you hit the market, you always want to look at the ROI, right? So you don't want to just start
heck yeah,
doing
I
everything.
Want this because that's just what I want.
No, so you want to, so my best advice for sellers is to look at what the comparables are selling for. The top level ones that are remodeled, what do they have? Right. So are they going all crazy with, imported countertops from Europe, or are they using, your typical, maybe some quartz? Are they using hardwood flooring, or are they using vinyl? What kind of lighting are they doing? Are they doing these fancy, crazy fans in the ceiling, or is it just regular recessed lighting? So you really got to look at what your micro market is doing to really determine which features are going to add the value that you're looking for. So I wouldn't recommend doing anything too fancy. If you look at most flips and investors that do it, they are not going over the top, trying to get all these luxury pieces into their home. They're trying to do what's comparable to what's going on. So I would say paint is a good return on investment. Getting that curb appeal, especially when you're driving up to a home, you want to have that first pop right off. So I would say paint is definitely one. Flooring, not hardwood flooring, you know, some nice,
but
affordable.
vinyl, I feel like it's not up and coming. It's very like relative now, and it looks great. I mean, you just see it once you go into houses. It looks beautiful. You can't even tell.
Yeah, for the purpose of selling the home, I mean, you just need it to look appealing.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need it to be that top of level. You can let the new owners worry about if they want to put hardwood floor, if they want to do laminate or whatever they want to do. So paint, flooring. And the third thing, what I would say would be recessed lighting. If you can put a lot of light into your home, that really makes a big difference, especially if you're in a condo where the sun doesn't really, you don't have that natural lighting. You have to create that. So I would invest, and they're cheap. It's usually like $50 to $60 a can per room. So it's relatively cheap and it adds a ton of value to your home. So I would say those are like the top three things that I would do. And with paint, I would double up. If you have older cabinets, I would paint those cabinets instead of replacing.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that, bro. I really appreciate it. And before we let you go, man, thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
What can you leave off, our clients with one piece of advice to go into these next 6 to 8 months?
These next 6 to 8 months is plan. Plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So my best advice to you, whether you're a buyer or you're a seller, is get in touch with the LO, your loan officer, get in touch with a realtor, and really start devising a plan. Now, I'm not saying to transact in those 6 to 12 months. I'm just saying to have your goals written down, meet with a professional, and figure out what's the strategy to actually achieve it. And that way you're not missing an opportunity when it comes.
No, you couldn't have said it any better. Thank you so much for stopping by. Friends, family, and all my clients watching this, if you guys have any questions, or if you're looking to make a move in these next 6 to 8 months, or you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or refinance, please keep our name in mind. Shoot us a message, and we'll be happy to connect. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.